media covers your story will be built from the ground up. King, dominate. You're talking about the one, the only, Jason Lee.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of the Jason Lee Show. My next guest is a repeat offender. She's been here before. She's probably one of the most important people in my life, and she looks damn good. Please welcome for the first time on the Jason Lee Show on BET, Tiffany Haddish.
Yay! Thank you.
So I know recently we were hanging out at the pool and Jamie Foxx popped up and you pulled up with a Temu outfit on. I don't think that was Temu for real?
Okay.
Because everybody, it's going viral on Facebook where people are like, is that really Temu?
Well, the top, which was actually a swimsuit,
yeah.
I did get that from Temu, and I got it for like $7.
Okay.
And then the pants, those were not from Temu.
Okay.
Those were expensive.
So you were mixing affordable fashion with that.
It's fast fashion, like Temu,
Yeah.
AliExpress, Alibaba. That's fast fashion.
Okay.
Mixed with expensive stuff.
But Fashion Nova is fast fashion. I think Temu is like expedited fashion. Alibaba is like you Alibaba is like you begging for problems with your returns fashion.
Well, here's the thing though. Like I paid $7 for the suit, but then I had to pay 14 something for the shipping and handling. So because what you call them things? Tariffs. And then I bought maybe like 32 items. So then really I probably spent like $300 on all the stuff I bought. But this summer, I'm finna be them up. I got all the best swimsuits. You're not gonna know what's what. Is that expensive? Is it cheap? We don't know.
No, but it looked good though. But what people were really commenting on was the body. Can we just give it up for Tiffany Haddish's body?
Thank you.
Because everybody was commenting on how fit you. I mean, I obviously have seen it up close, but you really are like probably at the most fit you've ever been.
No, I'm not at the most fit I ever been. I was the most fit back in 1998 when I had a full six-pack with the 11 abs.
But is that when you were homeless and couldn't afford to eat?
No, that was when I was still in foster care but getting ready to be emancipated.
Okay.
I was doing track and field back then. I was in my FloJo area. But I'm getting back to that. And so my workout plan is different probably than the average workout plan, but it's fun for me. I think if you can do things that are fun for you, it's easy to burn off the calories.
So there's different iterations of like our careers. So like when you're a struggling actor, struggling podcaster, struggling whatever, trying to make it, you just ain't eating. That's your diet. Water and not eating, and for Tyler Perry, somehow squeezing your tall in a Geo Metro. You had a Geo Metro.
I had a Geo Metro too. We had the same kind of car, yeah.
So Geo Metro was for homeless, struggling actors?
I don't know. Anybody in a Geo Metro or a Geo Storm, you popping. Just know you got a bright future ahead of you. Just know that.
But are you like, because for me, I'm on the GLP ones. I'm doing the gym, I'm eating, but like, are you on something regimented for people who are looking at you and seeing how you got this fit? How?
Okay, so basically I've been trying to get my hormones in check, right? I think that's what made me gain weight when I gained it. It was like just a big hormonal shift in just not eating right. And so like, I still eat what I want. I just don't eat a lot of what I want. Just eat it, and I eat more what I need, right?
Why am I thinking of penises as you're saying
I
that?
was thinking of that too. When I said it, I thought of it too.
Did you?
I was like, oh, I haven't been eating none of that lately.
But that could be good for your diet too, though.
I think so, because it's less stress. I'm not out as much, doing nighttime activities as much. But also, like, getting my sleep. I've been on so I was reading the Bible. Okay, I was reading the Bible and I was reading the Torah and I was reading the Quran. And all of them was talking about the wise men, right? Going to visit baby Jesus. And in there, it was talking about they had frankincense, myrrh, and gold. And I'm like, what are they doing with frankincense, myrrh, and gold? What's baby Jesus gonna do with that? So I started looking that up more, and what I found out was frankincense is super good for all your glands, your pineal glands, your gall glands, all the glands, right? And myrrh helps to get rid of like plaque, bacteria, kills parasites, and both together help balance our hormones. So those wise men was bringing the frankincense and myrrh to help Mary with postpartum, balance out her hormones so she ain't tripping out on Peter and all of them. Paul and John.
Wait, did postpartum, it was around then?
Hormones was around then. That's how you have a baby, right?
But why
The
they
hor-
didn't
it
put
throws your
hormones in the,
off.
why they didn't put hormones in the Bible, but they put semen in the Bible?
What do you mean, semen's in the Bible?
Yeah, it's everybody that has heard about a masturbation story for me from at one point in my career says that it's against the law of the Bible to masturbate because it says something about the semen spilling on the floor. We all know you get a napkin, ain't nobody spilling nothing on the floor.
Well,
but I think it's the metaphor.
But it's like kind of like a nation, though. You know, you have sperm. That sperm can give birth to thousands and thousands of people.
Well, this is the
right?
gag nation.
So, but like.
Did you just make a sound?
Yeah, that's a little gagging. But I didn't do the. I didn't do that one. But you know, I could see why it says it's a bad thing because you know that's potential life right there. But if you spill it in the garden, now that's fertilizer.
But to some with a sick mind and a joke that's really right for cancel culture, one could say then the Bible was suggesting swallowing.
In your vagina. So
only to your married husband.
Well, that's really all you desire. That's what you're supposed to desire.
Right.
And that's on a whole nother like scientific level thing too, because once that semen get inside your body, especially in your uterus or even in your anus, it's very absorbent back there. And it will absorb into your blood and your DNA. That's why couples start looking like each other. You know, you can like it's like you a soul tracker, like you could track this man. Like he hungry, he sad, he this. And it's like, how do I know these things? Because you are binding to him.
Wait, speaking of pineal glands and anal glands and all that, isn't it interesting how like you seem to find yourself always talking to a man or wanting to talk to a man who happens to be kind of gay or gay?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think I am a gay man.
I think you are too. I think that's our attraction.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we should do it.
No, because I'm really gay. Like I am so happy in being gay. You know, when you had first made the joke about it, I go, I couldn't be straight even if name 5 Bia songs, gun pointed to your head. Pow, I am dead. I was done.
Even if I had like a nice haircut and a deep voice.
First of all, pick the
I'm
voice
not your
back
type.
up.
I'm not your type.
Bring the voice back up.
I'm not your type though.
Wait, check this
out.
out.
For real though?
No.
Come on, man.
Wait, do you think it's a deep voice at all? You know what's so crazy though? I had somebody yesterday talk to me in New York with a light voice. I don't think a man should have a light voice.
When I hear a man with a light voice, I think that his nuts are really up close to his body. Like very close, like brand new, never dropped close.
You know, all my friends are still, they're petrified at the thought that all of us men have vaginas. Because I always tell them that Tiffany is probably one of the biggest fact, let me be very clear, FACT checkers in the world because she has these little unknown facts or known facts I didn't know. And you had told me that all of us men with penises are really drop vaginas.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you have nipples, and that's why y'all be acting like because your fell out. And that's why y'all always be grabbing at you got your hands in your pockets and stuff and grabbing at it, making sure it don't fall off.
That's the YNs. We all ain't grabbing at it.
I don't know. I've seen your hand in your pocket a couple times.
That's because I'm trying to hold on to my keys.
Oh, okay. That's what you call them?
Would you date a YN?
Well, how old is a YN? And what's their credit score? And do
I don't think YNs talk about their credit scores. I think they talk about their recidivism rate.
Okay. I don't even know what recidivism rate is.
When you come in and out of prison.
No, I'm not doing that no more.
Really?
Yeah, I'm past that. That was last year.
You wouldn't date somebody fresh out of prison but with the ambition to never go back?
No, I wouldn't date him, but I definitely would befriend him and maybe let him eat my ass. But I would not, he need to be out for at least because you know there's like that 5-year window where they go back.
Yeah, but 5 years could make all the difference in whether they're a YN or a ON.
Yeah, well, I would not do that. I'm just not gonna do it. I would befriend them though.
Yeah.
I would be friends with them. I would hang out with them, but be they woman? Mm-hmm. Nah.
Okay, so we're both sober.
Yes.
Sober gang.
Yes. Well, hold up, wait a minute. I'm California sober.
Okay, because you still dibble-dabble in the...
Yeah, I drink the marijuana tea and stuff, you know.
But I mean, we're sober in the things that used to get us in trouble.
Yes.
And when I say trouble, meaning we weren't addicted to alcohol. We just had a damn good time.
Exactly.
And got caught up here and there.
Exactly. Waking up next to ugly people and you know.
Damn. I'm a serial offender with that.
You still doing that?
No.
Okay.
We're sober now. Have you noticed?
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Have you noticed though in sobriety, we're making way better choices on the people we will even look at?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know, a few years back, maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, last year.
No, 2 years, more than 2 years.
3
now.
years.
Yeah,
3
3
years. It's been 3 years. 3 years. I would have, strongly played with the YNs with no problem because when you intoxicated, they look like, everything is so beautiful. Everything is so like perfect, and it ain't perfect. And and then you kind of deaf too. You kind of deaf.
Yeah.
You hearing impaired. So then like what they're saying is
Vision's
really
blurry, so you don't know. They could be
you don't
anything.
know. Yeah, it's just like whatever. Oh, it's big. It likes me. It's leaning in. But yeah, that's a damn barracuda, girl. That is something ugly.
But what was sobriety, your steps for you? Because for me, I just stopped. I feel like you just stopped too.
Yeah, I just stopped. And then like on the days that I would feel like, dang, I would like to have a drink right now, I would just do like ginger beer with a Jolly Rancher in it or a Sprite with a Jolly Rancher in it, just some sugar. I would eat ice cream or just eat a little piece of candy because that's what alcohol is. That's what's going to turn into anyway. So might as well have a sweet treat. And then I still feel good and like I still want to dance and party and all that.
See, and this is the thing with Tiffany. Tiffany is the life of the party, whether she's sober, whether she's sipping, whether she's smoking. Like you're this energy thing that is, I don't know anybody else that's like it. I had to drink in order to be outside. So for me, it was like a mental game of like, I need to show myself that I can be outside and still have fun. It is really hard to be sober around somebody as energetic as you because you're like nonstop energy.
Well, I'm an energy producer.
You are.
But when we get in the house, I turn off.
Well, first of all, you're on some new now. You want to go out, but then you go home to get ready and don't call nobody.
That's so
because you fall asleep.
I do. I be falling asleep. I be needing rest. That's also what's helped me lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Jacob's ladder. Jacob had to take a nap by the ladder, and then he got the message from God because I've been reading the Bible. I'm on the, spiritual diet. Frankincense and myrrh. Also, I do liquid gold too. Get that colloidal gold.
What is that?
Colloidal gold. You know how they do colloidal silver? Where they boil the silver and they drink the water off of that?
I grew up poor. I don't know what colloidal is.
Okay, so colloidal.
I know what a colonoscopy is.
Okay, we're not talking about booty holes right now. What we're talking about right now is colloidal gold. And basically it's when you take gold or any type of metal, right? But in particular right now, what I'm talking about is gold. You boil it, right? If it's real gold, it'll make like a nice like pink light kind of hue of the water. And you would take a few drops of that and put it under your tongue. And that will help the what you call them receptors in your brain communicate with each other better. So then your organs are communicating better. And gold, I mean, people say, Tiffany, it's like you're like glowing. What is this glow? And it's because I got gold in my body.
So you can tell people you're golding, not glowing.
Yeah, I'm golding, baby. I like you. You be making up
We
words and
just
stuff.
making
You
it
the
up.
best.
I know we making it up.
I love
Okay,
it.
wait. So sobriety, when you get sober, do you then go through your phone and just cut any of the side pieces you may have had off or anybody that you may have given a day of time to? What was that evaluation period like?
Well, first of all, I realized I was dealing with a lot of ugly people.
Physically ugly or like
physically ugly, spiritually ugly, mentally ugly. I realized and then it's so funny. It's just, I didn't have to block anybody. It's kind of like they just disappeared. They disintegrated, like they went away. Like I don't have any more toxic relationships. Anything that's even kind of toxic, we have a conversation. And usually I'm good. I'm resolved in it. Sometimes they're not. But then usually when they're not, they're alcoholics or drug addicts. And then they move on and I move on.
Or somebody like me who's sobering up. I recently spent New Year's Eve with Tiffany in Vegas. We went to go see Jennifer Lopez. I acted like a complete and there's nothing worse than shooting a vlog and then being a complete with an energy producer who's also sober and completely positive. Take a look at this video real quick.
This is the dynamic of our relationship. And I gotta be better about checking in with my man.
No, this is nothing about checking in. This is, I mean, it ain't even something I want to be getting into on camera.
We not gonna get into it on camera, but I'm doing my own nails and I'm with my man, Jason. And we're gonna have such a great time. Jason came down before me. I just got off the plane and I'm doing my own nails because I'm all about affordability. You know what I'm saying? Affordability.
See, you acting.
I'm not acting.
Yes, you are.
No,
Because that's not the vibe right now. That's
well, I'm
insane.
trying to change the vibe, Jason.
How?
I see your dimples coming out.
No, it's not about dimples, because you playing and I'm not playing.
I'm not playing.
Yes, I was not coming here. Do you even know what happened?
No.
Somebody moving me around like a +1 and not talking to me about where I'm sitting and all of that type of I don't like that. Like, I just don't. I like to be in control of my own environment. I could have been at home with the dogs. Going to a concert and sitting there by myself is not fun.
You're not going to be sitting by yourself.
No, I'm not, because if I am, I'm out of here.
Jason, we are going to be together, and we're going to have a blast. And I'm very excited. I wouldn't care if you came in with whomever, and I had to sit right behind you. Baby, I'm still with you.
That's you.
But I'm still with you.
But that's you. That's
not me. Because I'm going to be the whole time, Jason, did you see this? Jason, look.
No.
And you're going to be like, shut up.
No.
And I'm going to still be hype because I'm with you.
No. You already know you're a people person. You like to be around people.
I am not a people person,
you are.
Jason.
You don't have a problem going in there and being overly social with everybody and all that. I do. Okay, so in the hotel, I was having a whole crash out, burnout. We edited a lot of it out because I looked
You was crashing, baby. I thought your period started.
It was bad.
Bad. I wanted to cuss you the fuck out, but I realized he might be scared. He might be nervous.
Uh-huh.
This might be like just him uncomfortable and he's just airing it out right now. But yeah, it was bad. I was a little bit concerned. I was like, I almost called Elliot to say like, I think he having a nervous breakdown.
Elliot is our therapist, who she connected me to, who's great, by the way. No, I cut a lot of it out because I looked so stupid because what I was mad about. Well,
you was mad about something that anybody else in the world would have been so
tell
happy.
him.
So he wanted to sit with me. You wanted to
right
sit
next
with
to
me.
you.
He
That
wanted
was
to
the
sit
plan.
right next to me, but I had invited Joe Coy, and Joe Coy was going to sit next to me.
Who's one of the dopest human beings on the world, on the planet.
The dopest.
Yes.
And he was going to sit next to me, and you were going to sit next to J-Lo's mother. And this fool was very upset. And we all were in the family section.
We were all
in the family
But I crashed out.
And you was like, I don't want to sit next to nobody, mama. I was going to sit next to you. I was like, that's right, your baby mama. But I'm going to sit next to Joe Coy, and you going to sit right here. Like, and it's going to be okay.
The reason I bring it up is because I was just doing an interview in New York for press about the show being on BET. And I was saying that somebody asked me, like, how do you the muscle of self-love? And I was giving you your flowers and giving you credit, saying like you really were like my self-love coach. Because remember, I used to call and say, I love you. I used to hang up in your face, then call back. Even in that minute, I realized in Vegas, I was so deep in the resentment for having to sit next to J-Lo's mama, who we love, by the way.
She's the best.
Who I was.
Was so much fun, more fun than me.
She was so much fun. I felt so stupid. But what I was realizing was, what I wanted to say was, I want to sit next to you. But I made this whole argument about J-Lo's mama. No, they ain't sitting me with the kid. I think I said I was in the kitchen with the staff.
Yes, you did.
And you were like, and I was like, you know what? Turn the camera off. You were like, nah, keep this rolling so we can catch this.
Yeah, this is all good content right here.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to see yourself because I knew once you saw it, you would make the adjustments.
Foolishness.
It was just silly.
And then ended up standing next to J-Lo's mama, dancing and having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We had a great time. And it was really, I mean, some other people would probably be like, I don't want to hang around Jason no more with this bad attitude. But I enjoyed it because I was like, this is going to be such a great growing moment for him.
No, it was.
This is like, he's going to see this and he's going to go, wait a minute. Is this how I've been acting? Yeah, this is what you do a lot. You do it a lot.
Oh, no, I do it a lot.
It's temper tantrum.
No, I do it a lot. My friend, so we're coming up the elevator one day to go do something here at the studio. Right before we got here, my friend said, you really need to look at how, like, you talk to people. And I go, here you go again, wasting my time with all this nonsense. I talk to people very well. I talk to them like, look, I'm talking to you. You know, we get in the elevator and somebody had prepped me that somebody wanted to cook for me. I'm like, I don't want nobody cooking for me. I just want to leave me alone. I get in the elevator. I got my Mary J. Blige No More Drama glasses on. I'm in the elevator trying to mind my business. The people get in the elevator, the door closes, and I hear a voice goes, I want to cook for you. And I said, when can I cook for you? Did the elevator open? I said, never. And I just walked out. I felt bad. This is why I bring it up. Tiffany is the type of friend who's going to push you to be better, not abandon you when you slip, and allow you to grow as a person. And I feel like we don't do that for people. We don't do that for each other. So I do want to thank you because I did see the video back. I was like, ooh, this is not a good look.
No, because if I would have been acting like that, you probably would have cussed me out up and down. You would have cussed me out.
But that's only...
And you would have been like, "Bitch, you're not that famous. What kind of, you doing way too much. Calm the down."
I would not have said that.
Yes, you would have. You would have called me every kind of bitch in the book and told me to calm down.
I would have. That is true. But that's only because God spent more time with you and we expect more of you because you are the energy producer. Like when you have a bad day or when you're having a crash out, which very rarely have I seen you crash out, it is a noticeable crash out.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
With me, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, but when I crash out, it is a thing. I haven't had no sleep. I probably want all the sugar and but I always crash out with valid reason.
Yeah, no, for real.
It's never, I feel like you be crashing out with no valid reason.
No. My reason was I realized I wasn't able to articulate, I want to sit with you.
You wasn't able to just say, Tiffany, I love you and I want to be with you.
Yeah, because every time I say that, then it turns into I got to have sex with you to have a kid. How do we go from that moment of I love you to let's go on and get this baby going? Because the world wants us to have this damn kid.
I want us to have a kid. I think you are so beautiful.
Thank you. You too.
And I think your powers and my powers combined could make the most amazing human being.
That kid would be
Take one for the team, man. Take one for the human race.
Last time I said that to somebody, Calvin was my boyfriend. You better watch it. The reason I bring all this up, real reason why I bring all this up is a couple things. One, obviously, thank you for giving me the space to grow and get the lesson. I still owe you flowers from that trip. You've been traveling so much with work. I told Andrew, as soon as I saw that video, I was like, yo, we need to send Tiffany flowers.
No, just take me on the next trip with you guys. The next time, Mykonos,
you go to all those, Colombia, you already do all that.
I know. Just make sure I get to go next time because I didn't get to go last year.
Well, I'm going to St. Lucia.
I want to go to St. Lucia. I've never been.
May 8th, it's coming up. For Friday Jazz Festival. Brandy's headlining.
Are you serious?
Me and Catherine Bruton. We going. I got a villa and everything. What an extra bedroom. So I can lock my door and leave you right across the hall.
Because every time we go on a trip, I make a new friend.
Okay, stop bouncing right in the middle of this conversation.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you know, the reason why I bring it up too is I feel like when you weren't sober, nobody gave you the grace you give everybody. And people needed to see this moment to know why so many people love you. Because I really think people look at your Instagram and go, why does everybody love Tiffany Haddish? This is why. Because you're that type of friend. You're that type of person in everybody's life. You could be exhausted. You could just land from something. You could be day packed to the top. You're still going to show up for people.
Yeah.
How do we get people to take that energy and share that and spread it around the world, especially in today's time?
Well, I think, okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. I do that because I'm selfish, right? Because it makes me feel good to show up for people I love.
Is that selfish or selfless?
Well, I think, okay, it's probably selfless, but in my mind, I'm being selfish because it makes me feel good. Yesterday, one of my friends, I had just got off the plane and I had a conversation. I was like, I'm coming through. I need to see your face. And I'm going to kidnap your girl. I'm out. We out. And I wanted to see her, have a conversation with her. Now, I should have went to bed. But I went over there, did what I did, and it felt good for me. I got validation for me. And they're like, oh, you're so sweet. You're so nice. I can't believe you did this. But for me, even if they didn't say I was so sweet, even if they didn't thank me, for me, it was going to be good because then I got confirmation on certain things, right? So when you say, Tiffany, you want to go with me to this, do this thing, whatever, and the average celebrity will be like, hell no, I ain't going to that. But I love you so much, and I want to spend time with you, and I want to see you, and if that's what I got to do to spend time with you, and if that's how I can get out of some that I'm supposed to be doing, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, but you've been so busy killing it with everything. We're going to talk about you just doing the sold-out SoFi Stadium with Joe Coy, the tour that you have, I'm being selective on the ratchet shit I invite you to. I don't invite you to the ratchet stuff really anymore. I know you like the ratchet here and there. I know, like right now you're in your bag. I just,
Thank you.
Yeah, just leave you over there.
Okay, thank you. But I do want to hit a ratchet club or two every now and then.
Well, let's throw a ratchet party.
Let's do it.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll create the ratchet that Tupac versus Biggie party or something crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, like 2 Live Crew party.
No, now that's ghetto.
But that's ratchet.
It is.
Think about it. You ain't been to a 2 Live Crew type party since like 2001.
Well, because we live in a world right now where you will get canceled, right? I mean,
Yeah, never mind. No 2 Live Crew party.
Is it? Okay, so let's talk about.
But every time you hear that song, dun 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 dun.
Big booty hoes. You already know.
Yeah, as soon as you hear it, you can't help but to dance.
But that's when the culture was on fire. Right? So like when you, as a comedian now that does stand up, when you look at Eddie Murphy Raw, Eddie Murphy Delirious, or Richard Pryor, all those eras where a comedian it was the safest place for a comedian to be is on stage, no matter what came out of their mouth. And now, one viral clip, and here we are.
Yeah, and it's a problem. And that's because of these people that was born in the, very late 1900s and very early 2000s. They sensitive. I think they mostly C-section babies. Look, that's a clip. That's going down. I'm a cancel. She hating on C-section babies. Cancel her. But y'all lazy. Let's be clear. You didn't push through.
Or it's going to be the community.
You got your mama belly all cut up because you wanted to come out feet first. Or your mama wanted you to come out a certain time. Now she got a scar on her stomach. But you should have pushed your way out, okay? That would have helped her snatch back better. But no. And it would have activated your brain. Did you know that when you born naturally, that's what activates your brain? And if you come out a C-section, baby, and when you're born naturally, they still got to mold your head and stuff because you got caught in the canal. But when you a C-section, baby, they got to squeeze your head a little bit to turn your start button on.
So I wasn't a C-section baby. So is that
I wasn't either.
So
that's why we good friends. We pushed through.
So are we saying today exclusively that C-section babies are babies that couldn't get to the finish line?
I'm not saying they couldn't get to the finish line. I'm saying they always need help. They mastermind manipulators.
Right. Mm-hmm. But now somewhere out there, the C-section community
is hating on me.
Is mad at you
they
for
are
saying
so
that.
Mad at me.
There is a chat group on Facebook right now about people connecting on the offense.
How dare she?
How dare you?
Is she trying to call us drug babies?
Well.
I didn't even say that.
Wait,
I didn't say that. I just said your mama got cut open, though.
Maybe because she had to get back to the block.
That part.
I told one of my colleagues the other day, I was like, we're talking about crime and poverty alleviation. We come from 2 different backgrounds. My cousin has silver caps in their mouth. Yours didn't. And everybody around the table was like, did he just say that? Because basically, we all in the room that are of color, we know in our communities, they was eating that Kool-Aid, eating them snacks, eating them cookies. You were going to farmer's market. You had access to healthier grocery stores. So your family didn't have silver caps. Ours did.
Yes, exactly.
Why can't people just accept the truth that there are disinvested communities like South Central or South Stockton?
I don't know why they can't. Well, I think a lot of people can accept it, but then there's that niche group and those are usually the ones with the exceptional amounts of money, and they just don't. Or they have to go. You have to show them. And I don't have no problem showing them. I show a lot of billionaires a lot of things.
Like what?
My community. I still live in South Central LA. I'll invite them over come over for gumbo. I'm cooking. And it'll be like 2 or 3 billionaires in the house. And they'll be amongst all my regular, everyday friends. And they're right in the heart. They're right off of Crenshaw and King.
Wait, so you brought Jane Fonda to the hood?
Yes, and Jane Fonda comes over like once a month. I cook for her.
I also met, what's the,
You met Melissa
Etheridge.
You met Melissa Etheridge.
Okay, so you have achieved a level of white fame where Jane Fonda will get in her car in the middle of the night and drive to South Central LA and feel safe.
First of all, it ain't the middle of the night. I'm not even up in the middle of the night. Let's be clear. Okay?
Middle of the night for me.
Middle of the day.
Middle of the night for me is 6 p.m. That's middle of the night.
Okay, I guess.
Because I'm in bed by 10, 11 now.
Okay, I guess you're right. Yeah, she come over like at 6 for dinner, and I'll cook. Chelsea Handler comes over.
Well, Chelsea,
that's the whole
Chelsea
girl.
can be in the middle of a drive-by and think
Matter of fact, she about to do a dinner coming up. I'm going over to that. I said, we gonna see what you cook, Chelsea.
At her house.
At her house. Yeah, we going
But
over
is
there.
Chelsea like she can cook the potato salad or it got raisins in it?
I have no idea. I'm about to find out. Because for years she's been talking about she gonna cook something. So we're gonna see. I feel like Chelsea's actually gonna hire somebody to cook.
Yeah.
And then have them get out of the house before we get there. So I'm showing up an hour early.
To see if she cooked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show up an hour early.
But if you get there an hour late and it has raisins in it, you know she cooked it.
Or she hired one of her cousins to do it. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna have raisins.
Okay, so back to the body. Now you've been posting lots of swimsuits.
Yes.
You came to the hotel in a swimsuit.
Yes.
And
I'm trying
I
to
just looked in
manifest
your
this.
eyes and I see a swimsuit
You can see a swimsuit in my eyes?
right now
Seriously?
on a beach.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the goal. I'm trying to work my way into getting into Sports Illustrated. That's what I'm trying to do.
Let's give a hand for the
Yeah.
manifestation.
Yeah.
Because you are a manifestation queen.
They say if you want to fake it till you make it, if you want to do something, you need to be about it, talk about it, move in it, operate in it. So for the last 5 months, I've been pretending like I'm a swimsuit model and moving as such, and I'm just seeing what happens. And I've been getting my fans, everybody to write a letter to, if you're watching this, please write a letter to Sports Illustrated and tell them that you want to see Tiffany Haddish in a two-piece with her biscuits out on the cover. If everybody does that, for every handwritten letter outlet gets, they consider that 5,000 people's opinion.
Really?
Yeah, think about it, Jason. If people wrote letters to your studio, okay, about you, and they were like, Jason Lee needs to do this, whatever. If even one handwritten letter came, you would be like, what?
We were just at dinner the other night in New York City, and somebody came over, first person came over with a book and pitched their book to me. I said, thank you, but no thank you, I'm eating. And I was being polite, just for those of you that know. And then somebody came out and wrote me this long letter. And it was the nicest thing that literally, it's funny because we have it somewhere around here, yeah.
Yeah, I frame my fans are so dope and I love y'all so much. They be writing me letters, and if they put a return stamped envelope inside it, I'll write a letter back.
Really?
And I have gotten so many awesome letters over the years that when I have those hard times when the internet is attacking and people saying she ain't this or she canceled or she this, I always turn to my letters and I read those letters and I'm so grateful and thankful because people tell me some of the most amazing stories that I happen to be involved in. There's one that I really like that is kind of inappropriate, but I like it.
Say it.
So this lady said that she was hooking up with her dude and it's always boring. And one day she turned on my comedy special while they was hooking up and she was laughing and it made it better. It made it better while she was having, intercourse with her man. And so she puts me on all the time when she's having intercourse with her man. And she had a baby and she named the baby Tiffany.
No way. That is a great story. So basically what happened
I
was
made sex better and I wasn't even near.
she was taking a back shot and now there's a kid out there named after you.
Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah.
work. Wow.
And I wrote her back and I said, oh, congratulations. Tiffany means the appearance of God or gods to sparkle, to shine. And I hope that your Tiffany lights your life up and brings you as much joy as you brought me with this letter.
Or a ring from Tiffany, so go get married. If he ain't your husband.
That might be good too. I didn't even
You didn't
get
get
into
that
that. She didn't say that if that was her husband or her dude. She was just saying it wasn't fun no more. Yeah.
And you made it better.
Yeah, and I made it better.
And so now, your fans, you want them to write Sports Illustrated because why is it important for you to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated? This isn't not GQ. Well, she could be on that.
You would want to be on GQ, right?
Yeah, but
why?
Because I'm cute.
Right.
And I be dressing.
Right.
So why do you want to be in Sports Illustrated? Why not Harper's Bazaar? You probably already been on all that.
I haven't been on Harper's Bazaar. They actually canceled my cover shoot. So that's neither here nor there. That was some years back. That was years ago. Because I wasn't Harper Bazaar ready. But I am now.
What is Harper? Oh, because you weren't Tiffany Haddish then, and now you're Tiffany Haddish now.
Yeah, I just wasn't. You know what? I think every time a shoot or a movie or a thing that I was supposed to do gets canceled or pushed to a later date or we went in a different direction, that's God protecting me. All rejection is protection. And like some people are like, aren't you mad? Don't be upset. I'm gonna give you some bad news. Like, I'm relieved because one, now I get to do something else that day, and maybe I get to call you or call my friend Selena or somebody else, get to hang out with my friends, right? Also, I get to rest, and that wasn't for me. I'm not supposed to be doing that. Like, even like with like certain business things, and I'm like, yes, I got this, and then maybe it goes away. That's okay. That I'm not supposed to have that right now. Like, and maybe I wasn't even really doing the work to manifest that or even like walk in that vein.
But
right?
I always say, even with this show, me and Dana pitched this show concept to BET years ago, and they said no. Went to Revolt, they said no. This show has been on Revolt and is now on BET. So a dream delayed is not a dream denied.
Right.
But for people who are in pursuit of whatever their dream is, most people will quit or give up because those dream killers told them it wasn't theirs.
Yeah,
right?
and they're quitters.
So why do you keep going?
Because I'm not a quitter, and I know it's possible. If like I know anything. Okay, back in the day, I used to be like, I don't know. We'll see. Just keep doing the work. Maybe it'll happen. Now I know for a fact, after seeing this president that we got, and like, yo, he wanted to be the president, and he is the president with all the felonies and all the things, and he's doing everything he wants to do.
And doing everything he told them he was going to do, and then y'all voted him in, and he's doing them.
Everything he said he was going to do, he doing it, and he doing it the way he wants to. And to me, if he could do that, then I could do that. Now, some people might say, Tiffany, that is a white man. You can't move like a white man. But if I believe it enough, I'll be able to move it. The world will open up and move the way I want it to.
I move with the confidence of a white man.
That part, you got white in you, so you can do it.
And when people get offended at me moving like that, I move at the confidence of a white woman, because they got a no shout out to you, Marina. You know, they do have a certain level of privilege too. And so what gives you the confidence? Because you move in every space, white, black, gay, straight, male, female, and people love you, but I also feel like there is that doubt at times where, oh no, she don't deserve this, or she's not this or that. How do you keep telling yourself that what you want is worth fighting for? Because
I want it, and I believe in it, and it feels good in my body. Like, I believe we all have three brains. You got the brain in your head, the brain in your heart, and the brain in your gut. And when all this feels right, when I think about something, when I feel that like light up, like it makes me sit up straight when I think about it, like, I know I'm supposed to do it. I just don't know how I'm gonna get it done. I will pretend, I will like figure it out. And it always comes to me. It always happens. Now, it doesn't happen when I want it to all the time, but it happens. That's why I say, like, I wanna be a swimsuit model before I turn 50. And the people that love me and care about me, y'all could write a letter to Sports Illustrated and motivate them. Let's let them know Tiffany's out here and she wants to do it. And I wanna do it because for the little girl in me. I remember when Sports Illustrated came out, well, when I first noticed it, I was in high school, and I'm like, I want to do something like that. Like, and I wanted to do it for like track and field. I used to run track and field. I did high jump. I'm 5'6". I was jumping 6 feet, 6'2" in practice. Like, I was all city. I did shot put. I thought that I would be like an Olympic champion, and like, yeah. And, you know, time went on, and I didn't get into school. I couldn't afford this school. I didn't get in for that. And I'm just like, I love comedy. And so I'm doing the stand-up, and I'm living that dream. But still, in the back of my mind, Sports Illustrated was always running. And then I see Tyra Banks on the cover, and I'm like, yo, she from Inglewood, California. If she could get on, I probably could get on. And so then I'm like, maybe I'll start auditioning for modeling stuff. And I was doing like music videos. And I even tried out for Miss California. Yeah, I thought I would get that too, because I was a foster kid, ward of the state. I belong to the state of California. They got to give me Miss California.
You were invested.
I really was. But that didn't work out. But I would take like little classes and make friends that were models and try to learn as much as I can. And it's been like my little like, you know, what you call it? Like, you know how you have all the windows open on your phone? Like, mine's the one that was like, it's like a 200 window back, but it's still running. And I want it to happen. And then when I gained all the weight, I kind of got really like down on myself. Like, now I don't know if that's going to go down. And then I start putting in that work, wearing a weighted vest when I clean my house, walk the dog with the weighted vest on. Then my dog died. That really made me sad. And I was like, I ain't going to walk no more. Then I'm like, that I'm gonna still walk with the vest on, but I'm gonna wear it to the airport. I'm gonna wear it like wherever I gotta walk a long distance. I'm gonna wear my vest, and And I just start shrinking. I just start shrinking down and drinking my weight in water. And then the more I start seeing myself lose weight, the more I'm like, yo, this is possible.
I could actually do it.
And then when I started looking back, like when we went to Colombia, I'm looking at the pictures, I'm like, my body's not that bad.
Yeah.
Why did I think I was so fat? I thought I was so fat.
But even now, even with my weight loss in my mind, well, I was fat, but I'm still in my mind, that doesn't go away.
Yeah, well, I really thought I think when I tore
But
my
you weren't-
meniscus,
yeah.
I weighed 182 pounds.
Really?
And I never thought I would get to 182 nothing in my whole life.
What are you right now?
On my 40th birthday, I weighed 182. Today, in my I'm 21 for the 25th year, and I weigh 140 pounds.
Oh, wow. That's
So,
congrats.
yeah, so like, it feels really good. And then I noticed that since I've been wearing the weighted vest, and I would like lift weights like once or twice a week, I noticed that it's like muscle coming in. And I haven't lost any weight, but I look smaller, but that's because the muscles are getting tighter. And it's just like, to see the transformation is kind of awesome. And when I see myself butt naked in the mirror, I'm like, the world need to see this. God did his thing with this one right here. Look at what God did. And I'm God's best assistant. This astronaut suit is popping. This is the Tiffany model. I want to show everybody, but I don't want to show everybody, but I want to show everybody.
I can't.
Yeah.
Wait, so talk about manifestation. You know, everybody knows I manifested our friendship after watching you on Girls Trip. You then went to Africa with your girls on a girls trip. And then you married yourself in Africa. How does that happen?
Okay, I've been messing around with the idea of marrying myself for a long time because I feel like the longest relationship you ever gonna have in life is the one with yourself. And then it's like, how am I gonna expect for somebody to wanna marry me and wanna make me happy if I don't even know what make me happy, if I don't even like being around me? And so I have been working over the years, like literally up to marrying myself, up to being like where I feel like I'm marryable. I've been married before in the past, and that didn't work out because I didn't know what made me happy. I didn't have any boundaries. I didn't know how to honor myself. So how am I going to honor this man? Like, how am I going to respect him when I barely respect myself? So I started working really hard on me. And like really getting to know me, looking at myself in the mirror every day and being like, Tiffany Haddish, I love and approve of you. And just loving on me and like taking myself to do fun things I always wanted to do. I have money now, I could do it, go do it. Like, and if somebody else wants to come, great. But like really figure out what brings me joy. So when I'm sitting down with a guy and he's like, are you into this, are you into that? No, let me tell you exactly what I'm into. And I could tell him all the things I'm into and I wouldn't be lying to him or just like wishing I could. I know what I like. And I think in my mind, that's gonna make it easier for him. Like I know men like challenges, but they also don't wanna be stressing out over like, is she gonna like this? I don't know. Like here's the Tiffany Haddish manual. It's an open marriage. I'm married to me. It's an open marriage, and you're welcome to join us.
I like that. Would you be open to a real open marriage?
No. If maybe he got a few extra personalities, and I got a few extra personalities, and we can mix all
But
them
not
together.
extra people.
No extra people.
But what if you found somebody where you were like, I really love you as a person, you're sexy, okay, yeah, you got a wife or a husband, but we could like make this work. You wouldn't do it?
If it was you, Jason.
It ain't gonna be me. I'm
But
gay.
then it's no.
Why?
It's a no.
Well, if it's
okay,
me-
like what if I met a guy
Yeah.
who's like, he bisexual, he into me and he into you.
Yeah.
And he's like, I really want to be with you, Tiffany, but I also want to be with Jason. I'd be like, cool, that's my bestie.
No, that would be extremely complicated.
Why? Because you would be jealous because you know I got that good pussy. You know he would want to be at my house more
First
because
of all,
I could.
I don't think you're allowed to say that word on BET.
Okay. Sorry. Well, you would be jealous because you know I got that good.
You actually can say that word on BET. I just threw that disclaimer out there to prevent you from ever saying it again. No, I think it's because, there was a period, and it was during my drinking phase, where I thought I could be in a three-way relationship, but it would have to, on my terms, it would have to be me and two guys that live in my house, and each have their own room. We like link up for dinner at Alba and then go to the room, or, in South Stockton, maybe we head over to Xochilicos, then pop back over to the house. But I think that would breed complication because somebody's gonna get jealous. In our instance, if I'm dating a guy and you get pregnant with his baby, it ain't our baby. That's y'all's kid.
No, it's our baby.
No.
Yes, it's our baby, Jason. Because we gonna do it too.
You're a great actress. Did you when we did that photo with me, you, and Major, and we posted it as a joke, where I said cat out the bag, did you think the world would really go that crazy for it?
I didn't think the world would even pay attention to it at all.
It was a photo.
It was a photo. It
that
was
we
cute.
took at the Reciprocity Festival in Stockton.
Yes. And that's our baby.
To the world, I mean, for sure.
I think he do look like us.
You know what? Everybody was like, he really looks like Tiffany. Oh my God, I can see Jason's nose. Y'all are sick. You literally.
But Jason, he is related to you.
He is related to me, but that kid, they literally dissect that. I saw a baby. There was a post where it had a baby photo of me and you and a photo of him, and it was showing all the blending. And I said, this is how I know the internet is sick.
Well, is it? Or maybe they really want us to be parents because they know that we would be good at it.
I think there's that. I also think they know your story as a former foster kid, me as a former foster kid. They want us to be happy with a kid. Do you really want a kid at some point?
I think, yes. I have a lot of love to give. I don't know if I want it out of my body, but I definitely would love to like pour my love into another human being and see them flourish and like become amazing.
See, I would too. And the fans that keep pushing me towards having this kid with you, I'm going to tell you the problem. You're going to take my kid to the synagogue, and then I'm going to try and take him over to TD Jake's church. The kid is
and we
going to
can all go together.
The kid is going to be confused on its religion.
Kid is not.
They're going to go to your house. There may be a blunt there. They're going to go to my house. There may be, I don't know.
But that's why, Jason, I bought 2 houses right next to each other so we could be right next to each other.
I'm the vice mayor of Stockton. I can't live next to you. That's the other thing.
Okay, well, I'll buy 2 houses in Stockton right next to each other. I bought a house next to your house. Don't worry. We are always going to be close together.
Yeah, but the kid then, I feel like you will be a really relaxed parent where the kid will be running around screaming with a sucker.
No, I don't play that. I don't play that shit. No, I do not play that. I do not play that. You can ask anybody that I've babysitted in the past. They are all adults now. And you can ask my nieces and all them, my godkids. I don't play that. We have playtime.
Okay,
and that's about an hour to an hour and a half, and we all play together.
How would we decide who the godparents are?
That's something we're going to sit down and talk about. Like, who do we think would be best suited to look out for our child if something happened?
It can't be anybody that's had a C-section.
I'm with you on that. Maybe if they had a C-section, that's okay. Yeah. They can't be a C-section baby.
Right.
They need to be naturally born.
First of all, disclaimer, we love the C-section community. I just want to be very clear. All of you, your parents probably gave up a little bit along the way, but it's fine. You're here, we're here now.
Or they were ornery, they wanted to be first, you come
or they were ready to just get out and change the world.
Yeah, let me get out of here, I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they was trying to hang out. They didn't want to come out.
Yeah.
And they we got to go in and get him out.
Or they had bad insurance and they were taking up too much bed space in the hospital. Just get in and get it out of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, or the doctor had to go on vacation and was like, we can do it on this day or this day. Which one? Because I'm going on vacation.
C-section, let me stop. We love y'all. We love y'all. Because I know we live in a world where we can't even have fun with y'all no more. Y'all going to create a whole C-section Facebook community and they're going to all be in there.
But it's going to be good. I hope they do that.
Because we'll bring people together.
Yes, bring people together, but then people can share their stories and they can talk about how to get rid of those scars and how do you avoid that or how do you go through it? And they can share their stories. And maybe they'll start saying, yeah, I was a C-section baby. And yeah, people do things for me all the time. Or I am really good at getting people to help me. Or some people might say, no, I'm not good at it. And how do you get people to help you? It could be a great way to create conversation.
We'll create a poll online. If you believe we should have a kid by C-section, please leave a comment in the comments.
First, we got to start it natural.
No, you're gonna get a package.
We gotta get pregnant traditional.
You're gonna get a package with a little
stick like
this. You're gonna get a package with a little stick like this, and you're gonna have to go figure it out with
you
Becky
gotta do that. Well, at least
hire.
Do that part, Jason.
No, because the Bible says, "Thou shalt not spill the semen."
Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to do it for me. I might spill it.
Back up. Okay, so but I want to say thank you. Tiffany has been Miss Claus in Stockton multiple years. You are officially, even though you're a South Central baby, you are a South Stockton kid. I mean, people in South Stockton, Stockton, they love you.
And I love them. It feels like I'm in South Central when I'm up there. So I love it.
Yeah.
It feels like just family.
Yeah, you're literally down for anything. Like what I love about Tiffany, like me, she's down to do anything to help uplift young people. Not just the first year you came as Miss Claus, you sat there for I don't even know how many hours all day.
Yeah,
like
it was
4 hours. You refused to go to the bathroom when you needed to use the bathroom because you were taking pictures with every single kid that came in. And then this year, you did the same and walked the whole line and talked to people. And people feel the love. They know it's not a celebrity coming for a moment. They know you actually care.
Yeah, and I care. Like I care to bring relief. I love like that's why I do comedy, because comedy creates relief, right? It takes the pressure off. So any way that I can be a part of something like that, I'm gonna do it, especially if it's with somebody I love, my friends. And then for a community that I love and care about, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. And you recently went to Stockton and read the book, The Layla, the Last Black Unicorn, which I didn't even know the whole meaning of the book in depth as I do now, because I actually read the book to another school on the same day. And this was a reading across America event that we did in Stockton, bridging the gap across my whole district, where we both read to schools, a bunch of kids and staff, then went to the library and donated books to the library. We put books in all the Stockton libraries in my district and in downtown. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
That was so much fun.
But it was, but the kids were like screaming for you. I mean, it's at this point, you're their hometown hero too. How did that feel?
That felt so good to be a part of that, like, and just to see how they were listening and like asking questions and just like hungry to know. And so I'm working on doing a cartoon for it now. And I got another book coming, another Layla the Last Black Unicorn book coming. And I'm really just, I don't know, it felt so good, Jason. It like fills up my joy meter. Like being able to be of service for me is like true joy. You know, some people are like begrudging and don't want to help and don't want to whatever. But for me to see the joy on this kid's face, to see parents come and like happen to see me in their joy and excitement, like the teachers, their gratitude, and the principals and all the people involved, those librarians, how kind they were. They had all my favorite foods up there.
Yeah, they had all the fatty cupcakes and stuff.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And that fruit, they had all that good fruit.
How about the young boys who, I don't know if y'all skipped school from Monroe. Shout out to the kids from Monroe who popped up in the library, went and called all their homies, popped up on us and wanted us to come to their school. I mean, that was cool to see, like, two foster kids who probably at some point felt discarded and then life stacked against them, to be able to bring that kind of optimism from kids.
And that filled my joy meter up for the whole month. I felt like I be feeling high off of that kind of stuff. I don't know about you, but like my dopamine and my oxytocin get to going, and it's like I'm floating for weeks. It's like visualizing those smiles, that joy, remembering those questions that's being asked, seeing the excitement, like that gets me high. That's my drug of choice. Hearing people's laughter, hearing people cheer and scream for something good, like that brings me joy. And I get down a lot. I have depression sometimes. I mean, things happen in my world that I have no power or control over. And so I like to recall those moments. Like, I don't live in the past, but I don't mind using the past to fuel my future. And that is fuel for me.
Well, Tiffany, she didn't just come to Stockton for Read Across America or to give back for kids. She also met with the staff to help us explore opening a grocery store, because a long time ago, she asked me to join the board of Diaspora Groceries. Her vision for creating healthy grocery stores in communities that are food deserts. It's something that I joined. I've been the worst board member because I got so much going on. I'm gonna be very clear. But I'm also scheduling meetings and putting staff on track to help us bring it, because I'm gonna do the work now.
Yes, very good.
But I am committed to figuring out how to bring this to Stockton in my district, because it is a food desert community.
Yeah, and so much farmland too. I'm like, you got all these farmers all around, but it's still a food desert all around the farms, and that don't make no sense to me. And I've been doing the research as well, and this is dire. It's very needed. It's dire that I get there, and I'm ready.
We found the location. Did they not email you yet?
No.
Oh, the staff. See, this is what now I'm switching gears to being the vice mayor of Stockton.
Okay, maybe they did.
No, I put you on the wrong email. But they do have it. They found a location, everything.
Yeah,
So
I know they've been talking with my co-founder, Rashia Jones.
Because you are a high-level executive.
Yes, and I hire
superstar.
people. I create opportunities and have co-founders and whatnot.
And that's what people forget is that these ideas of me creating a youth impact center, you creating a healthy grocery store, it's not just creating impact through healthy food options and access or to access to mental health. It's creating jobs to build the infrastructure. It's creating jobs to actually do it. It's actually enriching the economical investment that our communities need.
Exactly. You're creating generational wealth.
Yeah.
And we're getting people off the streets because they're working and then getting a sense of pride. So then that lowers depression and mental illness. Like having some confidence and self-esteem in yourself and in your community and all these things. Like, we also, like, Diaspora Grocery Cares, we got 4 food brands on shelves across grocery stores in the nation. Did I say that right?
Give it up for that.
4 food brands. BIPOC owned. Yeah, BIPOC owned food brands. We've got them on shelves in grocery stores across the nation. And we're doing that like in the interim, like, okay, the store's not open right now, but we can get people on the shelves. So when we open our doors, we're on our shelves. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the major corporations, but it's us. And we teach them how to do all the protocols, how to get your brand going, how to meet their orders and all that. So it's kind of great.
I just recently found out, this is the thing I hate about politics. So when Tiffany was scheduled to be in Stockton for the August Knot School, there was a lot of political hate because people, they've told me, they're just really not happy with how popular I've become, how much power I have in politics, which I thought that's why you elect people, so they have influence to help move communities. But they hated on you coming to August Knot. Now, of course, everybody wants you to come back. So I did tell them, I said, whenever she's back on her time doing something about diaspora groceries in the community, I would extend the invitation to those kids who all wrote unicorn letters. I have them here. Actually, I have them here in LA. I need to get them to you. They all wrote unicorn letters with the unicorn on it. They had their unicorn hats. They all had banners and everything. I mean, like, those kids are waiting for you because they're all little Laylas.
Yeah. And Layla is such a powerful story because that's really about me, like growing up in South Central LA and then having to go to another school where there's barely anybody that looks like me and trying to fit in and like the mistakes that I was making and how mean the kids were or how mean I thought they were being, but they just didn't understand me like I didn't understand them. And then we went on a field trip in downtown LA and we got lost. And I knew the way because that's like my hood. And I kind of knew the way. And then I ran into this gangbanger. And I was like, yo, it's me. He was like, what you doing over here? We trying to find our way back to the buses. And he was like, oh, go this way, go this way. He took us. And the teacher was like, see, guys, Tiffany knows her way around. Just because she comes from a different community doesn't mean you have to treat her different. And my favorite line in the book is like, because everybody was so scared of like, they was like, oh, there's black people, this, that, they were scared. And I remember the gangbanger was like, don't be scared of black. That's just where all the colors meet. And so that's like a line in the book. Mm-hmm. Like just because something's black doesn't mean it's scary or bad. It's just where all the colors come together.
And that's what I love about that book and my book, God Must Have Forgotten About Me, is that at times you feel like you aren't being seen or that the opportunities that you want, you're not getting them or they're not being bestowed on you or that dream deferred is not a dream denied kind of mentality. But it's really good for people who are, coming up in their own journey to be able to see like, no, if you keep going, you can get it. And you should also know you're worthy of it.
Yes.
So now can the kids at August Knot who weren't worthy of having your presence but still want it and need it, desiring it, can I guilt you into coming to see them when you do come back?
You can't guilt me into nothing. No, I'm going back.
Okay.
I'm going,
yeah.
And you don't have to guilt me into it. Just we got to figure out what day.
Yeah.
And I want to see them. I mean, I saw the videos, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Jason. You sent them to me, and I was crying.
Yeah.
Because I could see how much work they put in and how excited they were.
Yeah.
And it was like, dang, I want to be excited with them and show them that I appreciate them.
Yeah. Those kids, they were. I mean. I knew they knew you were coming, and then obviously there's the politics and then the not getting clearances and loopholes and all this or whatever. But to see the preparation, to see the investment means that they have to understand the why. Like, why is this book, Layla, the Last Black Unicorn there? The teachers were invested. I mean, like, this is what I think is is what drives the passion in me to even be active in the community like that, to see these educators helping these young Tiffany's and Jasons. So, and look, kids, they ready.
They ready.
The school president came down looking for Tiffany at City Hall with a banner.
He did, and he's so smart. And so like, he's like, yeah, we were disappointed, but we kind of understand what's going on, but not really. But I know you were here. And I said, well, you go back and you tell all of them that I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
That I was in town. I wanted to be there. But the powers that be did not allow me. Yeah. And that's not y'all's fault.
Yeah.
That's not my fault. That's their opinion.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta just listen to the people in charge, and when it's time, I'll be there.
Yeah, and that's what I love about you, your positivity, because I'll be ready to burn the world.
I know, but you can't burn the world down. Sometimes you gotta just move with grace. There's a few people I would like to get the goons on.
Yeah.
You know, you had to activate my goons, but I said I'm gonna let God activate.
Go get the goon unicorns.
Yeah,
you know?
the goonicorns.
But shout out to the goonicorns. I love that. Shout out to the principal, Tarsha. You did that, and she's a black woman. You did that, and shout out to the Manteca Unified School District. We're gonna do that again. Are there any exes that you flip through social media and look at and be like, I wish you were back here in my life?
No.
Me neither.
No, not a one. Now, if Roscoe popped up on my social media,
was Roscoe the one with the one arm?
Yeah, he had two arms. Just one was little, and one was regular.
We're not gonna go back to Roscoe.
I'm just saying, if Roscoe popped up, I would want him back in.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
I would be on the carpet with Roscoe. Yes, I would.
No, you would not.
Yes, I would, Jason. If we hooked up and you was like the most amazing.
This is why we can't have a kid, because what are you going on the carpet of an awards or show or anything with somebody
that made me feel good and made me feel special, and no man has ever made me feel like that to this day.
The fact that you're saying he made you feel when he had a small arm is crazy.
Yes, that little hand was doing things. Okay.
He was a handy man.
He was very handy. He was very handy, and I liked it. Okay, just because somebody might have a disability, or it's actually,
I'm not shaming
it's actually a ability. Okay, it is a superpower. Okay,
and I'm not shaming anybody with a smaller arm. I am because I actually had this conversation this weekend. Because here I see the comments. Now there's the small arm community on Facebook saying that the vice mayor of Stockton doesn't like anybody with small arms. I did say this, I went shopping with a person this weekend, and we were walking through Soho, and I said to them,
I love you so much.
But this show's gonna get me in trouble, huh? I said, how long have you been with your girl? And he goes, I've been with her for 13 years. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing, because you had 2 kids. One kid is 12, 13. Like, are you gonna marry her? He goes, yeah, eventually I would marry her. Yes, I said, and so like, for better or for worse, she loses both hands and feet. What do? Without hesitance, he said, stay with her. She's been with me when I was at my lowest and at my worst. I would never leave her because she lost her feet and her hands. He goes,
and it's gonna be easier to get
y'all
that
stop
ass.
laughing in the background. I said, he goes, so like, what would you do? I don't think I'm ripe for anybody right now.
You ain't there.
Cause I have to love you. Like,
you ain't been in love like that yet.
No, I've been in love.
Not like that.
Not like that. So
you ain't been there yet. You ain't there yet.
Do you think there's a love that? Because I'm being very careful here, because I feel the internet right now. Do you feel there's a world where you could be married to somebody who loses their limbs and you stay with them?
Yes. Because I know they ain't running away.
What?
And they probably gonna love on me way better, do all these new modalities. We're gonna be all exploring all kind of new stuff, and then I can move my leg over this way and that way, and then they can do this. Like,
you can get them an ad campaign for New Balance.
Maybe, whatever it is, I'm with them. If I'm like, we in a trust fund together, you know what I'm saying? We got land together, and I love this man.
But if you're with a man who loses his legs, God forbid this happen, and he says, if you keep talking like that, I'm gonna kick you out.
I'ma laugh. I'ma laugh.
But are you? But so you're seeing that's.
I'ma laugh, and I'ma say, roll me up out of here. Then.
Oh, I did that. No, I did that. I did that at a reunion, and everybody they laugh. But why can't we get back to being funny without people feeling offended? How do we do that? Because we need you. Like you and I off a camera talking, we would get canceled. But it would be fun.
But we can never be canceled. Here's the thing, okay? Only God can cancel you.
That's true. That is
God
true.
can
I believe that.
So at the end of the day, it's about what's the intent behind it. What are you trying to be malicious, mean, and nasty?
Yeah.
Or are we bringing joy? Are we bringing awareness? Right? Are we having self-realizations here? You know, we all are growing as human beings, and we have our moments of being mean and our moments of being nice and our moments of learning. And if we don't talk about things, we'll never learn, and we'll never be better.
Yeah.
And it's okay to get criticized.
Yeah.
As long as, especially if it's constructive criticism, there's so much opportunity for growth, right? But like, if you keep worrying about, if I say this is gonna happen, no, they're not gonna let me, like, no, you know what? It wasn't for you anyway.
But you're friends with Dave Chappelle. He's, what the hell?
Lightning, it was really bad.
That's God. He didn't like that leg joke.
I apologize,
God didn't
Heavenly
like
Father.
God. We've never had.
It's like
We've never had thunder like that in broad daylight. When you and I got to talking about semen on the floor and legs and whether we're gonna kick a person out, God said, "Stop playing around."
But God loved me because He knows I sleep with His weak ones. I'm going to heaven. I don't discriminate. Human is
Would you have
human.
sex in heaven?
Would I have sex in heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think God has sex. Because we created in His image. I think God has orgasms. He probably just had one right now.
Not that was a God orgasm.
that was
We're gonna
Jehovah's
give
orgasm.
Tiffany the flexibility to edit the show.
Thank you.
Okay. You have final cut approval of this episode.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Give it up for the first time. Final cut approval. Okay, wait.
That was kind of scary, but it looks beautiful back there too.
But the fact that dark cloud came over here. Oh, the lightning went down. You saw lightning?
Oh, that's fire.
God said, "Stop playing.
Stop playing games.
Stop playing around." No, but Dave Chappelle, I think he's such a brilliant comedian. I feel like there was a time, I don't know if I've ever said this on any one of my interviews with Tiffany, when she took me to a jam session that Dave was having randomly, him and John Mayer were there, and you got up on stage, and the three of y'all had not rehearsed it, but it was so comedically genius that I was like, yo, I could see I think God wants to see it too.
I feel like Dave is a warlock and he don't want you talking about him.
Well, then we'll just transition into something else.
But Dave is amazing, very funny, very talented, and fearless.
He is.
He's absolutely fearless. And that is something I admire and I look up to. And I move in that same vein, right? And when I see him doing it, I know it's okay for me to do it. Like, he doesn't sugarcoat shit. It's his shit. Like, it is what it is.
But do you feel as a female, I'll just say comedian, but female comedian, black female comedian, black comedian, do you feel the pressure of not saying things that are going to be cancelable? Like, do you feel the pressure? Because you're funny as hell, but do you feel like you have to walk a certain line or there's a line you cannot cross?
I do believe there are certain things you just don't mess with. And if you do mess with it, it better be informational and funny. Mm-hmm. And what I love about my audience, like the other night I was doing a show in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. What's up, guys? What's up? And I was out there doing my show and there was something I wanted to talk about. And I was like, this probably ain't the right climate to be talking about this. And they were like, do it! Go for it! Be free! Talk about it! And I was like, nah, that's just one fat white lady saying that. I can't not just one fat white lady. And then everybody was like, talk about it! The whole room, like, and they didn't care what it was. And so I started divulging the information and they ate it up and they loved it.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I looked around the room and I realized most of my audience is from the 1900s. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we are from a time that you talked about things that today would be deemed as politically incorrect or uncomfortable or should be taken more seriously. But the way that I have learned in life and all the best lessons that I've learned, the best teachers always made me laugh. And the things that made me laugh stuck with me and gave me hope, gave me information and knowledge in how to do things.
But I also feel like it's escapism for all of us in a world where, like, you see war every day, doom and gloom on social media. It's like you can doom scroll and be depressed by the end of the day. I need to go and find Eddie Murphy Raw where he was doing the fag jokes. Like, why? I'm gay. I'm not offended by Eddie Murphy doing the fag jokes. That was some of the most brilliant, funny storytelling he ever did when he talked about being on that, being with somebody fishing who stuck their face in the water. I mean, like.
And they had that work. Oh, no, that's Martin. That's Martin.
Martin too, though.
Yeah.
Martin is, I mean, it's just, I don't know where we're going with art when we can't get that, especially from comedians.
Well, we're going to a place of, like, is it fascism or dictatorshipism? Is it like, we supposed to have freedom of speech and there's consequences to all actions, right? But it's like, oh, if you want to do that, we're going to like shut it all the way down. And it's like, but what about the other millions of people that appreciate it? These 400 hate this. Okay, 400, but there's 17 million that love it.
Yeah.
So like, let them have what they want.
Instead of the 4 people we're trying to please.
Right.
So you're Jewish and you're Eritrean. You get hate when you go to Eritrea and support your causes there. You get hate if you get on a plane and go to Israel to find out what's happening in Israel. Why can't you exist in the 2 nations that are a part of who you are?
I have no idea, but I love them both.
Yeah.
I love them both. And, I don't know. I don't even worry about the hate because really it's only on the internet.
It is.
Nobody has come up to my face and said half the things I've seen on the internet.
And everywhere you go, when you get there, they love you.
Everywhere I go,
No
I'm
matter.
greeted. When I went to Israel, I walked into this nightclub. First of all, I didn't know Israel had a gay scene like that.
What?
Baby, I had no idea.
You knew that. Tel Aviv?
I had no idea, Jason.
Swear?
Jason, I called you and said, did you know it's more gay here than it is in West Hollywood?
Rob, my Rob is like, Tel Aviv is, that's it. He loves it there.
Baby, and they beautiful. The men are fantastic. Like, I was just like, like my eyes was like,
so you weren't aware at all.
I was not aware.
It's like a destination for the gays to go and.
I had no idea, Jason. I thought it was the Middle East, okay?
Yeah,
and I thought it was like, if you're gay, they're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
You can't be that way there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the safe place
Yeah.
for the gays. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I went to this nightclub and I walked in and there was all these beautiful men. And this one guy comes up to me and he goes, Tiffany Haddish, the black queen of the Jews, the black queen of the Jews, Bathsheba. And then he's like taking me around and introducing me to everybody. And that was the most fun. I had so much fun. And I felt so welcome in every place, every kibbutz, every village, every place I went to. I was welcomed. Even when I went to these mental health centers they have there, best mental health situations they got over there. And I'm welcomed and informed, and I learned so much. And same thing in Eritrea. I go to these places, they love me. They're teaching me about the culture and about what the people go through. And I'm learning so much. And while there's hate on the internet from people who ain't never been, okay, they claim they're Christian, but you ain't never been to Israel.
Right.
But you say, what would Jesus do? Jesus would walk around Israel. That's what Jesus would do.
Jesus would walk around South Central, South Stockton, Israel, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, everywhere.
All of it.
I do feel like we are socially pressured to not explore. Like I tell everybody right now, they like, why you keep going to Dubai? They don't like gays. They love me. I was gay out there in Dubai.
But here goes the thing. That's part of why you go places.
Yeah, you
right?
have to see.
So you can see for yourself, because they will say, people will tell you things and keep you away from something that could really enhance your life and your community's life. And we're big, like, we're megaphones. Mm-hmm. We say something and people that ain't even been on the other side of Wilshire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? They what? Oh, I got to go over there and see. Like, and then they go and they're like, that was the most amazing thing ever. Thank you for telling me about it, Tiffany. Yep. Like, so it's just not being afraid. Like, I'm not, there are things I'm afraid of, but I'm not going to operate in fear. I'm going to operate in curiosity and like thirst for knowledge and joy and fun.
And optimism, that other people may look at it and instead of judging or attacking, actually be inspired to go learn themselves. Yeah. Floyd took me to Dubai my first time. I went, my first trip, I came back, I was in Dubai 5 more times that year. Took all my friends because I wanted them to see it too. And now that's one of my favorite places to go. I was having a conversation, I won't say with who, where I told somebody I'm gonna do business in Saudi Arabia. And they were like, you're gonna do business in Saudi Arabia? Look at what they do with women's rights. I'm like, we have a country where they go up and kill kids in schools. So like, we need to look at our backyard. Stop shaming me into making money around the world when our own backyard, when you got black and brown communities starving because there ain't no healthy food options, when you got diaspora groceries, you could invest right here. $10 billion, $20 billion to go do a war, $200 million that the lady did to give her friends commercial money. Christy Nome, her boyfriend is not trans, but drag queen.
He like dressing up. He like.
Instead of using that tax dollar to buy them titties, they could have gave us money to open our diaspora grocery chain across 5 cities in the country.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So this is where I think people have to start waking up. Because I'll tell you the other thing, this is why I knew y'all were wrong when Tiffany went to Israel. You had an glass of orange juice, and they tried to say you was drinking on the plane.
Yes, they said I was drinking. I was like, that's funny. I'm never drinking again. I don't think, well, maybe if I get engaged.
But it's your choice when you want to.
But I don't want to because it like hurts my knees and stuff. But yeah, they were like, she must be drunk. She's drinking. Like, I'm drinking orange juice, literally getting vitamin C.
And here's how I can vouch she was drinking orange juice. I FaceTimed her to hang out, and you were on the plane. I said, where are you going? You said Israel. Where are you? Where's this field trip I didn't know about? But that's the power of having options to do what you want when you want. The optimism of exploration and becoming self-educated. I always tell you she's one of the smartest people I know. And the confidence to not feel like you have to go fight on the internet to explain nothing.
Right. Well, just let them fight with themselves.
Yeah.
And they'll see later on. Just like how they was attacking me when I got up in that Monse fashion show, when Kathy Hilton was like, get up there, go for it. And I did it. Right? And then the whole internet, the black internet was like, oh my God, she should never be invited to another fashion show again. She's making us look bad, setting us back 100 years.
And then what happened?
And then they hired me to be a model in their fashion
show. But isn't that seizing the opportunity?
Well,
like that's literally, you seized it.
Yeah, I did.
And I'll tell you, I didn't know that brand before you walked and did that because how much earned media did they get as a result of that?
A lot. I'm valuable.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated.
I love Kathy Hilton, by the way.
I love her too, with her crazy self. She got ADD, right?
But she's also a boss. She also got real money. She be on Housewives of Beverly Hills reading the girls down.
That's that ADD, baby.
And then I love your relationship with Paris Hilton. And Paris is another somebody who's been in the system that everybody looked at her as somebody of privilege, but she went through her own and now she's on the Hill changing legislation. She's a real friend to you. She pulls up. She's supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, I love her too. I love that whole family. I love talking to their dad and asking him like investment questions and stuff like that. Like being able to associate with people that have wealth and like learning from them directly. And it's so funny. People are like, oh, they're stingy. They'll never tell you. Well, if you don't ask, you're right. They'll never tell you. I ask. They're very happy to share, very happy to teach. Matter of fact, let me connect you with this guy. He's going to show you how to do this. And yes, trusts are good. And this is better. And this is amazing. Like, I ask 1,000 questions, and I think that's why I keep getting invited back, because I'm not in their personal business. I just want to know how to make my business grow so that I can make my community grow, so that I can share with my godchildren, with my own children if I have some, with my friends' children, my friends. Like, we can all be wealthy together.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that. And speaking of that, you and Joe Coy's relationship, going back to him, you just opened up over at SoFi Stadium, sold out 90,000. I don't even know how many thousands of people with Joe.
The place holds 100,000. I think it was 77,000, maybe or 80,000.
Were you nervous when you're in front of that many people?
Let me tell you something. When I went to the sound check and I realized, and we've been to concerts there. We went to see Beyonce there. Mm-hmm. I went to see Chris Brown there, all kind of stuff. I went to football games there, and to like walk out and see like how Joe had it set up and how many seats were empty. And that's just a sound check. And then when the show started, to hear that roar, and with every comic, the roar got bigger and bigger and bigger. And you could feel it coming up through the floor. I was a little bit shaken, like, oh man, I hope I don't mess this up. And I will never forget Joe coming over to me. He's like, act like you at the Laugh Factory. It's like you're at the Laugh Factory. It's only 4 there. You perform your off like you always do. You in a comedy club, just have fun. Don't worry about it. Don't look all around. Just do your thing. And I'm like, I'm good. Don't you worry. Don't worry. I got this. And I turned around and said, and they said my name, and everybody
went crazy.
It was bananas.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see. I only saw this one lady. She looked like she had a roller set. It looked like she had just took her pink rollers out of her hair. And she was up dancing. And when I saw her dancing, that made me start skipping. And I started skipping. And then it was like, yeah, there's no stopping me.
Were you having fun up there?
I was having a time of my life. Can you tell?
Yeah, no, you look like. But how important is it for somebody like a Joe Coy, who I didn't even know Joe was this famous? Because I'm not in the.
I told you he was famous though.
No, you did, but I'm over here. It's you have white fame and black fame.
And Asian fame.
I have white
and Native American fame. I have human fame.
Well,
and you do too.
I do have human fame, but I have more Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle fame than I do Cipriani fame, okay? And so what I love about your relationship with him is y'all both started out, and I learned this when we went to the Man's Chinese Theater event where he put his hands next to Lucille Ball and all the other people. When I listened to you giving him his flowers, which I thought was the best speech that day, you were talking about how both of you grew up struggling, how you were over, I don't know if y'all were putting all your coins together to get them hot dogs or whatever, and to be able to go from that, to be able to go to SoFi, to go from South Central to SoFi, or from foster care to Forbes or whatever, that's like mental gymnastics to be able to wrap your mind around all those different things, right?
Yeah, it makes me want to cry because I'm just like so grateful I had a friend to like be on a journey with. Yeah. Like we wasn't with each other every day and we didn't talk like every other day or something, but we always checked on each other, always kept pushing each other. And then whenever we would see each other, it'd be like 2, 3, 4 hours going by, just literally like how we manifest and dream together. Like I don't want no friends that I can't dream with, right? And Joe is one of those first few friends that like we would dream. We would talk about all the cool things that we would do. Little Rail is one of those friends for me too. Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Like, this would be so cool if we did it. And what if I had this? I'm gonna get some titties then. No, I ain't gonna get no titties. Like, just all the crazy stuff that we would talk about. And then like how they would happen. And like his success, I feel like that's my success. Others might be jealous of him. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Because I remember how hungry we were. I remember us literally just talking out the side of our necks, just dreaming. And to see it happen, I know some people get jealous of stuff like that. I'm like, how could you be jealous of somebody you dreamed with?
Right.
That mean y'all thought that together and it happened.
But it also speaks to your character in that way, to not be jealous, but it also speaks to his character to not forget the relationship and not forget how an important part of you are in his world.
Well, I wouldn't let him forget. Like I said, I would call, he would call. Like, we check on each other.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, I'm not, like, when I'm having really bad days, I'll call you or I'll call him and go, it's a bad day. What dream did we have about 4 years ago? Like, what did we say we were gonna do? Yeah. Like, I called you one day, like, I kept blowing your phone. And you're like, what's wrong with you?
I was on a plane, and I hit our therapist, like, his crash out's happening right now. You gotta call her.
I was crashing because I was, like, stressing. And then I called him, and then, he calmed me down. But I be stressing about certain stuff because I get so excited and so, like, is this really gonna
but that
happen?
day I heard, I can share it because I'm not violating HIPAA. You were stressed out over success. But success does breed stress too, where you feel the demands, you feel the pressure, especially when you have people who work for you or work with you I understood it.
Yeah, because I don't want to mess it up, right? Also, I don't want to let it just slide by and we don't all get to eat off of it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure we all, whatever success I get, like, I know that it's for me. It's my success. I gathered it up. But can I feed my friends with it? Is there a way for us to all grow off of this? But like my real friends, the people I dream with, the real ones, like, and like not the hanger-oners or the leeches or the fleas. Like, I don't really want to feed them. I'm tired. I used to feed them all the time, but now I don't want to feed you anymore. I'm tired of feeding y'all. Go eat off of somebody else. Matter of fact, I'm taking that colloidal gold and silver. Your teeth up. You gonna bite into me and your gonna break. I hate these.
Was there ever a time in your career where you felt like people didn't reciprocate that same energy to you?
All the time. All the time people don't reciprocate. All the time they use. But I used to get mad about it, But now I'm more so, because I've learned boundaries. I've learned how to say, I know how to say no. And even if I say yes and I go do this and they don't reciprocate it, that's okay. Because it's coming from somewhere else. I had to realize, like, it's 360 in this mug. And I can throw a favor over here. It's gonna come back, but it might come from over there, right? So I never have to sit and be like, oh, this bitch, I'm always doing shit. She don't ever do nothing for me. I might check that in my head and not do anything for that person anymore. I might not show up for them for a long time, let them see what it feel like not to have me around for a while, not to have a real friend on their side. But I'm never gonna like be mad anymore like I used to. I used to waste so much energy on that. Like,
So
yeah.
the stand-up tickets that you're selling now for people to come out, how many people are you gonna offend?
How many people am I gonna offend?
Yes.
It depends. Probably like 5 a show.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, it seems that that's been my average, maybe 4 or 5 a show.
Where are you going on the tour?
I'm going to Plano, Texas. I'm going to Austin. I'm going to Dallas.
She's so booked and busy and so rich and famous, she don't even know where she's gonna be.
I'm going to Australia on Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah, I leave for Australia.
Didn't you invite me to go with you?
Yes, I did.
Why is it not in my schedule?
Because you got a brand new show on BET called The Jason Lee Show, and you're not available. Him busy, my friend busy and being successful.
This is how we got in that fight at the J-Lo concert. I'm telling y'all, right now she's taking Joe Coy to Australia and she's leaving
No,
me in
I'm
the
not.
She's leaving me in the slums of the community.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm taking my sister.
No, it's all good.
I'm taking my sister with me.
What's the name of the tour?
It's Tiffany Haddish tour.
Period. Self-titled.
There's no particular name. I mean, you guys can call it what you want to. You can call it the swimsuit model tour, or the damn she look good tour, or the her body banging tour, or the she made me laugh so hard I peed on myself tour. Either way it goes, it's a good time.
Or the kaleidoscope, or what is it? The colloidal what?
The Colloidal Gold Tour.
On the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
No, you're
you're
gonna
right,
love it.
you're right.
Okay. So, Girls Trip,
Yes, Girls
the
Trip.
movie that brought us together.
Yes.
Where is part 2?
Well, I read the script for it just recently, and
Okay.
it is very, very good.
Okay.
It made me laugh out loud 4 times, so that's a good thing. They said that we will be shooting in the fall in Africa.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said.
For Girls Trip?
Yeah.
But didn't you just go to Africa on another Girls Trip?
That was like 2 years ago.
But you manifested the Africa.
Yes,
Look at this as
yes,
a master
yes,
manifester.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Okay, so
I took my real friends, and now I'm about to take my movie star friends.
now that you've read the script for Girls Trip 2, because you know when you do a sequel to a big movie, Girls Trip 1 was like that was electric. That was crazy. Do you think it's gonna live up to the first one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I felt it in my bones when I was reading it. Like, my excitement was like ridiculous. I'm gonna tell you like this. Sometimes I read scripts and I don't know what the hell is going on. It don't make no sense to me whatsoever. And other times I read scripts and I'm like, I can live this life. This is great. And when I read the script for Girls Trip 2, I felt like I could live this life. I understand everything that's going on. This is exciting for me. I know that the world will appreciate it. And it's a way to show like a whole nother, like how we showed New Orleans to the world.
Yeah.
Like nobody, like only we knew
Yeah.
how dope
You
Essence Fest can be.
you really did that.
Like
You
the
opened
next
it up
year,
to a whole bunch of other
the next year, everybody and their mama was in there, all nationalities. They had sold out of everything for the like next 5 years.
Well, can you do a girls trip to the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards then? Because you have been the host.
I mean, I could try. I could see what I could do. I could see what I could do.
We ain't in Africa, but I mean, yeah, you have been the host
But
of
maybe we should do it in Africa.
the Impact Awards?
Hollywood Unlocked Africa Awards.
See, now I'm gonna have to give her 10% of this idea, or 50%.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm invested in the company,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, you are. No, you are. You are.
I'm on the
you
cap table. Let's go.
Now everybody's looking at cap tables and wondering if it's a silver cap or a gold
I know,
cap.
right?
Okay, so girls
It's a gold cap.
So girls trip is gonna happen then.
It's happening.
And who on the cast do you think is jealous of how big you were in the first one? Because you know you were the
Nobody.
You know, I'm just trying to start some stuff.
I see you trying to. And you know what? Somebody else was saying that to me, like, you know such and such jealous of you. I'm like, no, she not.
I mean, you...
If she is, she's a freaking great actress. If any of them are jealous of me, they are excellent actresses.
Because the group chat is lit.
The group chat be lit.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with Regina. I think because Regina works more than all of us.
So she's not as responsive.
Regina is the slowest responder.
Can we both confirm in person that Queen Latifah is the absolute worst person to have a cell phone?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
She'll get back. She gets back when she gets back to you when you need her to get back.
She do get back, but she's from the 1900s.
She's from the 1800s.
No, she's from the 1900s and 80s.
I met her with a Sky pager. She thinks her phone's a pager. She'll respond when she wants.
When she see a payphone.
Right, but she's the queen, so she could do that.
She is the queen.
Yeah.
And she does chime in, but it do take a little time.
No, I love...
Sometimes the chat just be me and Jada for a little bit.
And then like, hello.
And then we be like, where y'all at? And they be like, oh, girl, okay, yeah. Shoot, I'm on my lunch break. Hey, guys. Like,
I think the casting of that movie was the best.
it really was. Malcolm Lee did a great job.
But I'm going to tell you what movie has done the worst casting and missed their opportunity with you in it. Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh, I agree.
You should have been in Devil Wears Prada 2.
I shouldn't even, you know what? If they would have just took my one song and put the song in there, that would have set it off.
What song?
I did this song called High Heel Shoes. High heel shoes, I'm running in my high heel shoes. Take a look at me now. I can run for miles and I'm feeling fine.
They could have put that right in there as Andy was running from her man or something.
Yeah, or as she's running to work.
Right.
Just a little snippet of it. But when I drop the whole thing, they're going to be mad. But the music supervisor said no. Or my representatives lied.
You need to get... Why didn't you text Leonardo DiCaprio, whose number you have, to get Meryl Streep's... Do you have Meryl Streep's number?
I do not have Meryl Streep.
But you could have got it.
I know her people.
You need to
too.
be a little bit more aggressive. Meryl Streep, we saw you jump over the little railing to go get her in that dress that you wore 20,000 times on the red carpet. You could have got to Meryl Streep if you really wanted to.
I mean, yes, but Meryl Streep is not the music supervisor.
Meryl Streep is...
She's the queen. Yes, she is the queen. But she's not the music supervisor. She is focusing on her lines. She is focusing on other things.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like when you're the lead number one on the call sheet, and then people are trying to get you to do things that's not in your department.
Yeah.
That's not my.
Yeah.
That's like asking her, hey, can you make sure that the camera operator uses a chocolate lens on you? Like what? Like that's not my job.
Okay,
Like,
but if you could have been in the movie with Meryl, what would you have wanted to play?
if I could have been in a movie with Meryl, I would have wanted to play
In Devil Wears Prada 2.
In Devil Wears Prada 2, I would have wanted to play like a designer, or I would have loved to been like her house chef, right? And she come home to meals, and she's like, "What is this?" And then I have to break it down for her, and then she try to like shit on it, and I'll be like, "Just taste it." Exactly. Like, or I don't know, a model. I wasn't really a model. I really want to be a model.
You could have modeled a swimsuit.
I know.
Right? You could have been at a swimsuit. You could have been at a Sports Illustrated swimsuit shoot that she was coming to.
Right. Or a runway model in a swimsuit. And she could be like, how old is her? Her ass is so fat.
Or you could have invited her to a group home where the kids were running away.
Right.
Runway.
Or where a group home where she has to dress the kids. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a runway challenge.
Yes.
A runaway challenge.
Or you could have invited her to LAX for a conversation on the runway.
Hello.
I don't know.
In a jet.
This is why we're not in the movie. But we should crash the premiere.
Premiere. When is the premiere?
May 20th. I'm trying to figure.
On May 20th? Yeah, I could do that.
We need to try to figure that out.
We're going to figure it out.
Like the way we brand
you know
down
what?
Oprah.
It's already done. We're going.
Yeah?
We're going.
Okay.
And so it is.
It's done.
It's done already.
God is our publicist.
Hello?
The same God that just did the thunder because we was out here doing too much.
And it was thick clouds behind us, and now it's kind of gray.
Yeah.
But then it's going to be bright.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, listen, we had this entire time to talk about all of the things work-related, but now can we get to some games?
Yeah. Oh, I love a good game.
Okay, let's get to some games. All right, so here we are going to play one of the games that goes the most viral on the show, and this is somebody like me who's outside looking for love, and it's a game that everybody loves called Smash or Pass. Really simple game. You get the paddle right on the side of your chair.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a name up, and their face will pop up here on the screen, and you simply just say smash or pass. And
This is out of real wood.
well, we know how you like some wood. All right, so we'll just smash or pass and say why you would smash or pass them, okay?
Okay.
And feel free to have fun with this.
Oh, I will.
Okay, the first one is a new friend of mine. He might be a friend of yours. Tyreek Withers.
I'd smash.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's cute.
Is it the bone, the facial bone structure?
Yeah, I was thinking like the strong jawline, but also he seems like he knows how to wash dishes with no shirt on.
Have you seen his body?
In that movie, I
Yeah.
saw some of it. Yeah, I
He's
want to
fit.
see it in real life though.
He's fit.
He seemed like it.
He's been online talking about wanting to act in Heated Rivalry 2. You know what Heated Rivalry is, right?
Yes.
He wants to be in Heated Rivalry 2, so he's been really baiting the community to buy into it. So I took him to the Abbey to see, like, are you even comfortable in our community? 3 or 4 cocktails down, he was having a great time.
Oh yeah, he's a fun person.
He is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
can
kiss him
see
in the
ya.
mouth.
Huh?
Nothing.
You gonna kiss him in the mouth?
I want to kiss him in the mouth.
You gotta make sure he don't have no silver caps first.
That's okay. I can get him some better teeth.
He working, he can do it too. All right, here's another person. Oh, I just met this person too. Chris Hemsworth.
If he was not married, I would, but he's married, so I pass.
But if he was not married,
If he was not married,
yes.
like can we just like dry hump? Or does it gotta be smash?
You cannot dry hump after 40. It's just after 40.
Why? That's the most fun.
No, it's not. No.
Dry humping is so much fun. It make you feel young.
No, because after 40, your crotch gets extra drier. So
mine get extra wetter.
We're
I
definitely.
have my coochie sweater. I'm gonna pass.
I definitely started using hydrocortisone after.
Are you gonna smash or you gonna pass?
You know what I will say about him? Because, I tend to stay in the culture. I was at a dinner sitting with somebody who we know, who I'll tell you after, and he and his brother were sitting at the table right next to us. They look that good in person.
Yeah, see, I want to do both of them, but
Yeah.
I believe they both is married.
Yeah.
And I do not smash married men.
And Liam, the brother, used to be married to Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
He's gained a little weight, like he's bigger now, like he's been
Yeah,
working
he got
out.
more muscle.
He looks good.
Yeah, I know both of them, right?
Personally, you do?
I do. I got
Oh, wait,
both
they follow you on Instagram,
I got
too.
both their phone numbers.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I could call them.
Okay, don't call him right now.
But I only talk to them about business and funny stuff.
Okay.
Just in case they get divorced, they know that I'm ready.
Okay, Liam is absolutely going to remember me from the dinner, and I will tell you offline who I was at dinner with, and you remember.
Okay.
Because they stopped at our table. I thought they were stopping to talk to me, and they were not. But it's okay. All right, this next person, 50 Cent.
I want to see him with his shirt off. I smash.
What if he has a dad bod? I mean, he has money. He's successful.
What am I holding up?
You'll smash him.
I smash that.
But what if you smash him and then he starts talking about you on Instagram?
I'm going to talk about him too. We can talk about each other. Whatever he can do, I can do it too.
That's the type of power couple he needs.
Is it?
Power, the show.
Oh, yeah. You so funny. You so talented. I smash.
I couldn't be a good stand-up comedian, though, if you get the jokes later. You got to get
Yes,
them.
you can.
Can
That's
you?
still good, yeah. It's called delayed laughter.
Power couple?
Power couple. We could do it.
Okay.
I'd be with it. I suck his titties. You said dad bod.
This next person, Oscar winner Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, we smash. I've been telling him I'm a smash. I've been telling him that since before y'all knew who he was. I was like, I was smash.
You did not tell Michael B. Jordan that.
Okay, maybe not like directly to his face, but when I hosted the MTV Movie TV Awards, I mean, I told him basically I was smash. I told him, look into my eyes. I'm going to get pregnant by you. Like, it's...
And he thought it was a joke.
Maybe. Maybe not. I've been to his bar.
He has a bar?
He has a bar in New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it nice?
It's beautiful.
Do you think he was deserving of the best male support actor award?
Best male actor, yes, definitely. He played 4 roles, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know, he played the 2 twin brothers, right? And then he played one of them as a vampire, and then he played one of them as a vampire in the future.
You know what's so crazy is that just the hate that he and Sinners got when it was a great movie. I actually watched the movie 3 times, and I don't be watching movies back to back.
I know your attention span is not
Gone,
for that.
but it was so good. And I feel like when you can, it's almost like when I saw you in Girls Trip, you when you can bring a character to life, it's when you know like that, it's not just you're playing somebody. You brought a person or a character to life. I thought with Sinners he did twice, 4 times.
You know what? I'm going to pass on him, actually.
Why?
Because I remembered something, so I pass.
What'd you remember?
It's neither here nor there. He can ask me about it if he wants.
But as a vampire, he was, he was sucking in that movie. Okay. You in the middle now? All right, this next person, I have no clue who he is. Jacob Elordi. Oh!
You know who Jacob Elordi is, and I would I would hold hands with him and kiss him on his cheeks and tell him that,
Wait.
let's go to the sun.
Why do I know Jacob Elordi? What did he play in?
I don't know. I just see him in magazines.
Euphoria. Okay.
I be seeing him in magazines and stuff. Like, I thought he was a model strictly, and then I heard a commercial with his name in it, and I looked. And then I was like, why am I watching commercials?
He is in Euphoria. That's that movie where everybody's doing drugs.
It's a TV series.
Yeah, well, TV series where they're all doing drugs. You're sober now. You're not
Not
gonna be
everybody's doing drugs.
He definitely looks like he was on something in there.
I don't know. And he's cute. I'll be his drug.
You would smash.
Yeah. Is he over 30?
He's grown.
If he's over 30, for sure, for sure. If he's under 30, I would just, be a mentor. He's 28. He's 28.
You can still smash.
I mean, I will be a mentor.
You can't smash if you're a mentor. I literally just had this conversation the other day.
Well, I'm going to be mentoring him on smashing.
So you're going to be teaching him how to stay
I'm gonna teach him how
smashable. Okay, well, what about this next person? I think we met him in France.
I'm a pass.
What?
I pass.
No, you're not.
I pass.
Didn't you meet him in France?
I know him. I pass.
But did we meet him in France? Can. You don't remember?
I don't remember. Pass.
A hard pass?
Hard pass.
Like, don't even go back at all?
Super hard pass. But I would have a conversation with this man any day about anything. But I pass on the smash. No, thank you. I used to want to smash, but then, no, thank you. I pass.
Okay.
You know how somebody be real handsome, but then they say something ugly, and then they become ugly? Pass. I mean, I'm sure people thought I was like so beautiful, and then I said something, and they like, she gross, ugly, don't want her. I feel that way about him. But I love talking to him. He's very intellectual, very smart, but pass.
Okay. Before we get out of here, one more time, smash or pass?
Pass.
Okay. Okay, this next person, he had a really busy year last year. Drake?
Pass.
Why?
I saw a video.
Not the video on the plane.
Yeah, that's too much meat for me, honey. I can't do it. The way my endometriosis is set up, I can only handle mediums. And if that was real, what I saw, if that wasn't AI, yeah. If that's real, pass. Pass. I can't handle it.
Okay.
Also might be another reason why I'm passing on Trevor. Pass. Might be too much for me. I like mediums. I look at hands.
Okay, this next person, Bad Bunny. Stop playing. Okay.
Smash. Only in Spanish.
How do you smash somebody only in Spanish?
Don't talk to me in English.
Okay, I just had an epiphany.
I want it on El Telemundo the whole time.
I just had an epiphany. You said, what if you were with a man that I would share you with? That would be the only one. So that one right there, you can get Bad Bunny to agree to be a part of this threesome, I'm down.
Serious?
Bad Bunny, I'll give you his number, you can figure it out.
Okay, I will make it work. Don't. Because I've been me mucho gusta bailar, me encantan las hamburguesas y los tacos,
You know,
mi amor.
he was supposed to be at that dinner we had for Hollywood Cares.
I'm just saying, if he rolls up, I've been practicing. I'm on my Duolingo, biblioteca, comediana, luego, la papa, la rojo, cayete la boca, mi novio, mi amigo, perro azul, gato, bonita, ponocha, comer.
You said eat. You said something sexual. You
what?
said eat something. I know that. I know. See, I don't understand it all to say it, but I've been in the blocks where they be cussing a lot, and I know the bad
I
words.
didn't cuss.
No, but you said bad words. We just said.
I didn't say nothing bad.
No, but you said eat something.
A straight man would like it.
No, for sure. Okay, this next person, Pedro Pascal.
Well, that's for you. But I was smashed. But that's for you.
Pedro, he's gay?
I didn't say that. But that I would do it. We
But
kiki a lot. We have
Do
a
you
good
know
time.
him?
Yeah, I know him. Mm-hmm.
Is Pedro
He's
Pascal?
calling me right now.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Is Pedro Pascal? Do you know him?
I do know him.
And you have his
We
number?
did a movie together.
Wait, what movie?
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And I had to be locked up in a hotel for like 2 weeks.
With him?
No, I was by myself in my room by myself. But then once I was able to come outside, we had a very good time.
Wait, isn't he the one that's suing Blake Lively? Or
He's with Blake. No,
they're
that's that
involved?
other dude. No, that's that Jason Presley. No.
Oh, Justin Baldoni. Okay,
Yeah,
they all kind of look alike.
No, that's Justin Baldoni.
Okay.
No.
They all kind of look alike. They all kind of favor. They all got the
No,
same
they
black
do
eye.
not. He does not look any. First of all, stop. I'ma slap you, okay? Because Pedro, do not look nothing like no Justin Baldoni.
He don't?
No, he looks nothing like Justin.
But you know how sometimes
Pedro is fine as so watch your mouth.
So would I like him?
Yes, you would love him.
Would he go on a date with me?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, text him and just say, I think I got somebody for you. And then just
I don't
send
know.
him-
I think he's engaged.
So?
And even what? See, no.
I am here to keep couples together.
As a matter of
actually.
fact, he's married. We both passed.
Is he married?
He's married now.
But,
I decided so.
Is it
I decided so, because you're not finna play with my friend's feelings.
Okay, then here. What about my friend right here? What about him? Benzino.
Oh no, you know that's a damn pass. Come on now. What the
What?
look at that, and look at the picture you put up. He looked like he in that Will Smith
That's a good
movie.
picture. Stop playing.
He looked like he in that Will Smith movie when they were orcs.
Will Smith is a friend of yours.
Yeah.
Okay, so you feel like at home. Benzino's a good person.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know him, but it seemed like a lot of drama. It's too much drama.
You would be Coyle Ray's stepmom.
Yeah, no. You know what? It'd be okay. But he a grandpa now, right? I don't do grandpas. I don't want no grandpa. He's not ugly.
Okay.
I'm not saying he ugly. I'm just saying from the things that I have seen and where what I've witnessed, I'm gonna pass on that.
Okay.
I watched a few. Wasn't he on a reality show?
He was on Love and Hip Hop, right?
And from what I have witnessed, I'm gonna pass.
Okay. What about this next person? Leonardo DiCaprio. That's your friend, so stop playing.
Yes, I'm gonna pass.
Why? Because
He
you're
my
friends.
friend.
Okay.
We my friend.
Okay.
He my friend. But if ever he sees me in the right light and he thinks I'm 25,
Stop it.
I'm here for it.
We saw Leonardo at a club, and I told Tiffany, go over there and get his phone number. This is how you know you famous. She went over there to get his number and already had it.
Already had his number.
A mess.
But I had got his number when I was drunk. And then you was like, go get his number. This is a sober. And I was like, let me go. Can I get your number? And he gave it to him. And he was like, you already got it. I was like, damn, I already got it.
Okay, I'm going to confess, since I talked about your sobriety, I went to go get somebody's number that I wanted to get at, and I got their number, and I had already slept with them. Is that bad? That is bad. I'm living in my truth now, though. I'm living in my truth.
Nasty work, Jason. That's nasty work. Nasty.
Okay, next person is a friend of mine that you tried to scam. Christian Louboutin.
Oh. Yeah, I was smashed, first of all. And we're going to have a conversation because I need that Christian Louboutin shoe. I need that Louboutin.
Tell people what happened.
Okay, so you introduced me to him, and we was like, it's all cool. And then I was like, you really got to figure out a shoe for people with bunions, because your shoe make people have bunions. But if you did a Louboutin,
no, we had dinner at Yamashiro, and you went into full pitch mode
on
a concept that I thought was a joke, but not knowing women really did want
a shoe for our bunions, it hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, your shoes are beautiful. They are pretty shoes, but they're not comfortable. If I'm spending $2,000 on a shoe, it should have some level of comfort in it. It should not feel like my toes are going to fall off by the time I take them off. Like, it be feeling like blood is in the shoe.
Bloody shoe.
It's bloody shoe. And it's blood in the shoe.
So you did the Christian Louboutin pitch at dinner.
Yes,
I did. Then at the Impact Awards.
I pitched it again.
In live broadcast.
Yes, in live broadcast.
And then what happened?
And then he said, no. But
then what happened?
But then I found a new shoe. He dropped a new shoe. And it has space for the bunion.
So you might have co-created that.
I really, I hope I influenced it. If I did, it's the most comfortable shoe that they have, and it is the sexiest shoe.
And the world can thank you for it.
You're welcome, world.
Okay.
But I really think he should do a trace of my foot and make a shoe and call it the Tiffany. The Tiffany.
Okay.
The Lou Tiffany. The Luani.
And it could be a special series like your soul and be like a black bottom.
Yeah, or maybe
Get
he
it?
do
The black bottom.
The black bottom.
You said you're a gay man, black bottom.
I love that.
Can we please start?
My friend is so creative.
I need my jokes to be caught in real time. It's my timing. I think it's the timing. Okay, this next person.
You say it so casually.
Burna Boy.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pass because I feel like that got witchcraft on it.
Yeah, but
I feel like it's been around parts of Africa and stuff, and like the women love him and want him,
but Africa got all the good minerals in it, so.
I mean, it probably got some good minerals in it, but I've been paying attention, and I'ma admire from a distance. I'm not gonna get into that because that seems like that'll have you be a zombie.
That's
you know what I'm saying? You be zombied out for that. That's the you show up to jobs for. That's the that you slash tires for. That's the where you be like, I'm gonna learn witchcraft and I'm gonna bury his drawers in the backyard. That's the that make you do dumb shit.
Burna Boy.
I'm cool. Look at the tattoo.
No, Burna Boy looks like, when you go on a 7-Eleven and there's like the extra large beef jerky. The extra large Slim Jim. Like you just wanted Slim Jim, but now it's.
Now you got the extra large. And now you walking funny.
Yeah.
Now you walking funny.
Yeah.
And now you showing up at the job. You sitting in the trunk, in the back seat of the car. You might be in the trunk.
Yeah.
Waiting for him to get his groceries and pop out like, what up? It's gonna make you do weird shit. And because he looked like, let me tell you what, especially this picture, he looked like he liked to laugh. Like he is a good time. Okay? And there are women that love him. Mm-hmm. Okay? They will murder you for him. Mm-hmm.
Well, Burner Boy, they'll get the burner.
Yeah, or they burning because it's been all through the community. I don't
Allegedly.
know. He might be a community leader. I don't know. He might be a community activist. But I'm going to be supportive from a distance.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's going to have me acting out of character. Okay,
you're an actress.
It's gonna have me back in my terrible twos.
Yeah,
we don't need that.
But if you're going on a girls trip to Africa, he already over there.
Yeah, he should be in the movie. But I'm gonna tell you, this the type of that you will ride a bike to go get. Okay, this the type that he ain't got no car.
So you went
and you don't got no car neither, and you get on your scooter. Okay, and not even a motorized scooter. You are kicking. You are.
With the legs.
Wearing a hole in your damn kids. Yep. Okay, you wearing your little yacht kids, and it's a hole in the bottom of it by the time you get to this house. There are that have walked across deserts to get to that, okay? I'm not dealing with that.
No?
I'm not dealing with that. That could be a friend. Okay, but I believe, look at him.
So you wouldn't do the pineapple on him?
First of all, I'm allergic to pineapple, so we're not doing none of that. And grapefruit on him?
Grapefruit.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. That's probably going to mess up my esophagus. No. That look at her.
Okay, I get it. You said a mouthful. Get it?
You
Did you get the joke that
so
one?
So you smashing though.
No, I am holding this as a conduit for you to tell your truth. I'm not in this.
You keep holding up the smash.
All right, this next person. Diplo.
Diplo, you know what? I've been dating his dad for a while.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, me and his dad been talking.
You've not been talking to Diplo's
So I'm
dad.
like his mom.
You're not talking to Diplo's dad.
Me and his dad been hanging out.
About what?
About life. I love older men.
What do you all talk about?
We talk about just life stuff, investment, retirement. We talk about like foods and stuff. He talks about the 70s and what that was like for him. And yeah, it's a good time.
So you're Diplo's stepmom?
Kind of. Kind of.
I'm done. All right.
He told me I'm hot. His dad's always like, you're so hot. You're so hot. You're such a beautiful girl.
This last person, I think you and him together would literally light the internet on fire. Blueface.
Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no, no. I'm going to pass.
Tiffany.
I'm going to pass. There's 1,000 reasons why I'm passing.
Tiffany.
First of all, I think I used to babysit this. Okay?
Really?
So that's a pass.
Tiffany, if you dated Blueface and were in an online fight between him and Krishan, that would be the most
First
epic
of all,
time.
I wouldn't even be fighting either one of them. I would pull a belt out and I would spank their ass. I would whoop them. They would get whoopings, okay? I'm not fighting neither one. I don't fight no more.
Yeah.
I don't fight no more.
This is an old Blueface photo because he actually has more
If
tattoos.
we look at current day Blueface, no. To the no. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I respect his mama, okay? And I think we like the same age. I'm not doing that.
He is a recipient. You're a Grammy Award winner. He is a recipient of a Mandingo Hall of Fame Award.
That's good for him, okay? That's good for him. Also, too much for me. You see how skinny, you see when dudes be this skinny right here? That's a lot of.
He ain't skinny like that no more.
Okay, but then his probably reverted, and I can't do that neither. I don't want it. I respect his mother. I respect Krishan. I respect myself. Okay, I'm not gonna do it.
Isn't Krishan at the Impact Awards the funniest thing to witness?
I love when she's around. I do. I love her very much.
Yeah.
I love her. She's so silly. She a mess, and I pray for her
You
daily.
treat her like a little sister though. Like I love the
Yeah, and we have a good time.
Yeah.
And I pray for her daily. I pray for her a lot.
Now listen, I pray for you daily too, and I'm grateful that you're in my life, and I love you, and you're a great friend. And I'm gonna put that video of Vegas in here because it was the most ridiculous behavior ever.
Yes.
And thank you for not giving up on our friendship afterwards, because I probably would have felt some type of way if you acted like that. But that's because you don't act like that.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
And if I felt like any kind of way, like, oh, you putting me over here, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna make the best of it, and I'm just not gonna talk to their ass the rest of the night. I probably would have not talked to you the rest of the night if I was really wanting to be right next to you.
Yeah.
But I would have taken advantage of the opportunity to get to know J-Lo's mom even more, and all the people around was powerful people. We were in the best seats.
We were in the best seats, and there are bigger things happening in the world where that was not the biggest deal. Yeah.
I was just happy to be with you.
No, and I was happy to be with you, and I'm happy.
And then we had gumbo the next day.
I didn't go.
I got pictures. You wasn't
No, I didn't
there?
make it because I was too tired. Remember, we drove back in the middle of the night.
I was just looking at pictures. That was the year before.
That was the year before. I've been to the year before and the year before that. I didn't come this year.
And it was so good. I stayed up all night. I mean, but as soon as you
the
dropped
fact-
me off,
It went right into cooking for everybody.
Yes, and it was so good.
Well, listen, thank you for coming back on the Jason Lee Show right here on BET.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody, write those letters to Sports Illustrated right now because we need Tiffany on the cover.
Yes, if it happens, I would be the 4th Black woman to ever do
But
it.
the first first comedian.
First comedian ever in history.
When it happens.
When it happens, first comedian ever in history to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Give it up for Tiffany Haddish.